The storm that recently swept through the Mecca impacted the area surrounding the Kaaba was one of the most intense in recent memory. The heavy rain and strong winds cut off pilgrims off guard, and the weather in the region is typically not and dry, especially during the pilgrimage season. However, thunderstorm and a coastal flash flood are known to occur in the late summer and autumn. Weather patterns shift as the rainwater pounded into streets. As the floods, the pathway leaving the Grand Mosque quickly filled with the water, make it difficult to pilgrims to move freely. Many of them dressed to their simple white Ihram garments solve their shoulders with the Moscow expansive courtyard. The powerful gust of wind sent pyramids, umbrellas and other loose itself flying across the Moscow open space. In some areas, the wind was so strong that it temporarily interrupted the old lines of power. Despite the challenges posed by the storm, many worshippers chose to remain outside, circulating Kaaba, their devastation interrupted by the harsh conditions. It was the scene that resonated with many online as images and pilgrims braving the storm in sacred space circulated widely. For Muslims around the world, these images served a reminder of pulse of resilience in the face of adversity. Our authorities were quick to respond to the situation. The Grand Mosque interval infrastructure is well prepared for emergencies, with a networks for team responsible to ensure the safety and well-being of pilgrims. Mosque staff along the emergency response unit working tirelessly to manage crowd control to ensure that any areas affected by the flooding were coordinated. The Saudi Civil Defense issued public warning advised residents and pilgrims to avoid low-lying areas and remain indoor until the storm passes. The storm also prompted local authority to assess the resilience of the Kaaba drainage system, which has unpredictable significant upgrades in recent years to mitigate the impact of flash flood. Following previous incident of flooding in the city inundated and particularly damaged in the 2009, the Saudi government has invested heavily in the improvement of the city infrastructure. They includes a widening and deepening drainage channels to better cope with the sudden downpour. While this may should have improved Mecca's ability to handle such storms, the sheet volume in the rain tested to limit the system once again. In the day following storm, cleanup efforts were quickly mobilized to the crews working around the globe to remove debris, clear flooded streets to ensure the mosque was ready to welcome worshippers in usual capacity. Within an hour of rain stopping, the Grand Mosque resumed normal activities with the prayers and pilgrimage continue as planned. For many who experienced the storm, Fishkant is become a deeply personal moment to reflection in Islam. Rain is often seen to symbolical blessing. For some pilgrims, the storm carried spiritual significance. Video and testaments shared online reflection the statement with some pilgrims experienced that experience of continual rituals amidst such powerful storm, deepening the connection of their faith. While the storm brought temporary disruption in the city of Mecca, it also demonstrated the resilience of both infrastructure and community. Saudi officials reassured the public that safety remains top priority on the investments to infrastructure will continue to focus to ensure the Grand Mosque and surrounding areas are equipped to handle extreme weather events. As Mecca returns to usual pace of life, the storm likely to remember it not only the intense but also the way of underscore the dedication, spiritual faith. The pilgrims who visit at this sacred site after year, the Kaaba standing firm at the first century reminder of symbols and thoughts of Muslims worldwide even in the face of nature mind. A powerful storm recently struck the holy city of Mecca, home the Kaaba, Islam's most sacred site. The storm, which brought heavy rain, strong winds and lightning, caused significant destruction and aid around the Grand Mosque, where millions of Muslims gathered with the prayer and pilgrimage. Videos circulated on social media captured dramatic scenes of lightning strikes near the Grand Mosque, with the torrential rain flooding around the street. The storm, which stayed several hours, also caused a temporary power outage in some parts of the city. However, the Kaaba, located at the center of the mosque, remained undamaged. Worshippers inside the mosque took shelter under the damage and many other continued praying prayers despite the harsh weather. Authority and anticipated heavy rainfall had in put place continued plans to ensure the safety of pilgrims and residents. The Saudi Civil Defense was deployed to manage the situation, ensure the emergency services were readily available. The storm came during the emergency season, when thousands of Muslims from around the world visited the Mecca performed the last pilgrimage. The heavy rain and wind movement challenging many pilgrims, but there were no immediate reports of major injury. Footage showed pilgrims walking through the wet-flooded streets holding each other to navigate the strong winds. Despite the disruption, Grand Mosque officials and Saudi authority acted swiftly to manage the situation. They closely some areas temporarily to ensure their safety and continued to facilitate worships for those inside. The Saudi press agency reported teams were working around the clock to clear the flooded areas and restore service as quickly as possible. The storms are not uncommon in the region, especially during the autumn season that flash flooding can occur. However, the combination of extreme weather events and the flood pilgrims present of unquiet challenges. In the recent years, Saudi authorities have invested in infrastructure to improve the drainage system around the Mecca and safeguard against natural disaster. But the scale of the storm tested this system. Many pilgrims saw the storm in a test of fire, but some experienced gratitude and being able to witness nature force for the performing religion duties. Despite the challenges and the storm did not dampen the spirit worshippers, many of whom continue with the prayers undeterred in the downpour. As the storm subsided, cleanup crews quickly moved and restored normality in the mosque and the surrounding areas. The storm that recently hit Mecca, although devastation, made an invaluable impression on both pilgrims and locals who experienced it in full force. The Kaaba, the spiritual center in Islam, remained standstill during the downpour as strong wind, symbolizing the unshakable nature of faith in the face of nature. The thousands of attendants, the experience of seeing the Kaaba in the midst of such bad weather added the profound demonstration of their pilgrimage. As the sky darkened and the storm approached, the city experienced a moment to eerie calm. The pilgrims, many of whom had come of distant land, continued to pray in the Grand Mosque, aware of the power of storm that was about to hit. When the first bolt lightning cut through the sky, followed with the rumble of thunder, the atmosphere changed dramatically. Soon the area began to flood with the showers and the wind increasing at alarming rate. Inside the Grand Mosque, the rain sounded like dumping the huge marble floor, and pilgrims sought shelter under the high vaults and domes. Despite the intensity of the storm, the atmosphere inside remained calm and reverent. Those who had come with full religion duty reminded forces of their prayers, underscored the chaos and wind flooded outside. One of the most vivid videos of the storm came from the upper floor of the Grand Mosque, as the wind howled worshippers to salute the Kaaba, shocked the determined some of them raising the candle of prayer. Simply oblivious at the fact of they surrounded the downpour, signaled the people moving as one around the Kaaba with water running down the face of clothes was no powerful visual measure of enduring the fire. Some pilgrims, especially those who visit Mecca the first time they stop, added the surrounding elements of their journey. The people of Mecca of the Saudi government as well reserved had the deal of extreme weather conditions. Local authority activated continually plan as soon as weather forecast predicted storm, ensuring the rapid restore teams were deployed throughout the city. Their teams provided assistance to those trapped by the flood and helped manage to crawl around the Grand Mosque. They additionally engineered quickly anticipated key infrastructure, ensuring that only damage has quickly repaired to prevent further disruption. The storm also highlighted the delicate balance of this between Mecca, rich history and modern damage. The food number year grow after year, especially during the Hajj and Umrah season. The city infrastructure must constantly evolve to meet both spiritual needs and visitors, the practical realities of sanctuary and logistics. The government has planned to continue investing in developing the city adaptively with the instant natural disaster, including more subterraneous water monitoring system and fusing and the duration of drainage networks. Despite the intensity of the storm, few several injuries were reported. They were a testament of the city preparedness for the quick action to emergency service. However, the event severe reminder of vulnerability alleged crowned the face of unpredictable nature forces. After the storm, Mecca quickly returned into normal rhythms. The Grand Mosque, with its towering minarets and the unshakable Kaaba at the center, has become a common stability amid the changing nature, weather, and time. For many, the storm will remain a vivid memory in their time in Mecca, the reminder of even the face of nature's most powerful manifestation, on foundation of the fall devastation remain unchanged.